नमस्कार दोस्तों, मैं हूं श्रीधर और आप देख रहे हैं नेताजी डॉट लाइव। जैसे कि आप जानते हैं, नेताजी डॉट लाइव के माध्यम से हमारी कोशिश होती है कि हम आपके पसंदीदा नेताओं के दिए गए वक्तव्य भाषण आप तक पहुंचाएं, वो भी असंपादित। तेलंगाना की राजधानी हैदराबाद में नवगठित कांग्रेस कार्य समिति की पहली बैठक आज से शुरू हो गई। यह बैठक 2 दिन तक चलेगी। विपक्षी दलों के नए गठबंधन INDIA के अस्तित्व में आने के बाद कांग्रेस कार्य समिति की यह पहली बैठक है। इस बैठक में विधानसभा चुनाव समेत कई मुद्दों पर चर्चा होने की संभावनाएं हैं। आइए इस कड़ी में देखते हैं क्या कह रहे हैं पूर्व वित्त मंत्री कांग्रेस के वरिष्ठ नेता पी चिदम्बरम।
The Congress Working Committee is deliberating on a draft resolution. The deliberations are still underway, and we expect that the deliberations will conclude at about 6:30 or so. And the resolution as adopted will be released to you in due course. But I thought we'll give you an idea of what we are discussing. We are discussing the situation in the country. Broadly, it can be divided into the political situation, the economic crisis that the country faces, and the security threats, both internal and external, that are a grave challenge to the country. While the resolution has several paragraphs, broadly they will the political situation, the economic crisis that we face, and the internal and external security threats. I shall only make a brief statement on each one of them, and then we will take some questions. Firstly, on the political situation, we believe that there is a challenge to the constitutional and federal structure of the country. Federalism has been systematically weakened. State governments have been hampered and hamstrung. Revenues to state governments have been denied or reduced. And obstacles are placed in the way of state governments discharging their responsibilities. I shall give you only 2 examples. Karnataka's promotion of rice to the people of Karnataka, which was an election promise. Even though Karnataka is willing to pay for the rice, the Food Corporation has been instructed to refuse to give rice to Karnataka. This has never happened in the country before. The second example is Himachal. Himachal Pradesh has faced devastation thanks to floods and landslides. Yet, that funds are being denied to Himachal Pradesh, especially disaster relief funds. Now, even a child will know why obstacles are being placed in the way of Karnataka and Himachal Pradesh. It is only because the BJP lost the election in these 2 states. There are other challenges. Firstly, in Manipur, since the 5th of May, Manipur has been burning. Since the 5th of May, we have had June, July, August, September, and then we are into September another week. We are today, I think, in about 157th day. The Prime Minister has found the time to visit several countries, to make a quick dash to attend the ASEAN summit and then come back for the G8. It's startling and deeply disappointing not found 2 hours to visit Manipur. Minister's aircraft will take him to Manipur in about 2 hours, yet he has not found the time to visit Manipur. Except a 2-minute mention of Manipur just before the parliament session started, he has not spoken about Manipur. And what is happening in Kashmir? When Article 370 challenge is being heard by the Supreme Court, the government's lawyers and the government's officers file an affidavit and make statements that Jammu and Kashmir is returned to normalcy. What we see is far from normalcy. 3 days ago, a colonel, a major, a DSP, and a rifleman were killed by terrorists. And the next day, the government, the cabinet, and headquarters celebrate G20, even while Kashmir is in mourning. And again, more security forces were killed. Certainly, Kashmir is nowhere near normal. Manipur is nowhere near normal. Yet the Prime Minister does not speak about it. There's a comprehensive failure of the Prime Minister and the Home Minister. I can multiply the examples of the deteriorating political situation, but I shall leave it there. Now we come to the economic situation. Inflation. The best test of inflation is whether the Reserve Bank of India will increase interest rates or maintain interest rates or reduce interest rates. For several months now, the Reserve Bank increased the interest rate, pointing to racing inflation. It has held the interest rate, but there is every indication that it will raise the interest rate again because inflation, especially retail inflation, is on many commodities either near double digit or cross double digit. Food inflation is over 10%. Even while the WPI is negative, the CPI is rising. And the government has no explanation. The government does not explain this phenomenon that the wholesale price index is falling, but the retail prices are rising. Unemployment, close to 8.5%. Exports, for the 7th month running, year on year, monthly exports have declined. In China, it has declined for 4 successive months. In India, it has declined for 7 successive months. Even the last data released by the NSO shows that several indicators are pointing to a grave crisis. One learned professor in a study has pointed out that the first quarter growth rates are suspect, while growth measured by production is 7.8%. Growth measured by expenditure is only 1.4%. We've had not this kind of discrepancy in the past. So he has questioned the 7.8%, and government has come up with a lame defense yesterday, which is reported by the media. So we have inflation, unemployment, slowing growth, falling exports, falling imports, and the government's responses completely going back to the olden days of market distortion, import duties, and other trade distorting measures. These are not the answer to India's economic challenges. In fact, these so-called answers will only worsen the situation. The third is the security challenges. I've already mentioned the security challenge in Manipur, the security challenge in Jammu and Kashmir, and add to that the Chinese challenge on our northern borders. The Chinese are standing firm in their position despite numerous talks at officers level, commanders level, foreign ministers level, and maybe even the Prime Minister and the head of government in China's level. The Chinese have not retreated an inch. What happened to the brave words, status quo ante? Nobody even speaks about the status quo ante. Remember the first few days, India's demand was status quo ante. Now, does anyone speak about the status quo ante? On the contrary, the status quo is being changed every day, every month to our detriment. More buffer zones are being created on erstwhile Indian-held territory. What does that mean? We are losing territory. The Chinese are commanding the territory or holding the territory. It's the Prime Minister's statement on the all-party meeting in June 2020 that no foreign troop is in Indian territory and nobody is intruded into Indian territory. That is a statement which has encouraged China to continue its stubborn position of not retreating an inch. Therefore, we are all concerned about it. The Congress Working Committee is deliberating on these matters, and we will have a resolution shortly.
आपने देखा कांग्रेस वर्किंग कमेटी की बैठक में क्या कह रहे थे पूर्व वित्त मंत्री पी चिदंबरम। हमारे इस चैनल में बने रहने के लिए हमारे इस चैनल को लाइक करें, शेयर करें, सब्सक्राइब करें। नमस्कार। नेताजी.live के प्रायोजक हैं सत्यदीप डायग्नोस्टिक एंड क्लिनिक, सुपेला, भिलाई।